guys are watching The Couch Casuals. I'm your host, Robbie Dylan Vasquez, and I'm here with my host,
Kyle Diorio. Welcome back, everybody. We love you.
We are here to bring you the pre-show of a sleeper banger of a card, UFC 292, O'Malley versus Sterling. Kyle, let's open up the card. What are your thoughts on Chris Weidman versus Brad Tavares? Chris Weidman, the last time we saw him, his leg wrapped around Jared Kennedy. Oh, wait. It was
Uriah Hall.
It was Uriah Hall. You're right. It was Uriah Hall. I'm racist. His leg wrapped around Uriah Hall's leg.
Completely.
He's
a
been out.
Freak accident.
He's been out for, on this date, on the date of recording, 867 days.
That's insane.
What do you think we see from Chris Weidman, former champion, versus Brad Tavares?
I hope we see a fresh, a healthy, ready to go Chris Weidman, because Brad Tavares is as game as you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Longo, Chris's coach, did say he was concerned for his fighter. Not really because of the training. He just said, I hope the leg holds up. I hope nothing happens, because, I mean, it completely snapped the shin in half. Just whip.
There's a reason we're not bringing up the image right now, and it's our sickly
face.
Yeah,
it's a spaghetti leg, really.
It's not. And then he stepped back on it and fell.
They all seem to step back on it for some reason. Like that is, well, not for some reason. Like that's the natural motion, but it's so awful to watch him step back on that leg.
Do you think? I believe he said this on the MMA Hour. I don't know. Do you think he throws a leg kick at all?
No. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll be like one of those. See, I'm fine. You guys don't have to worry. But
I think
it's something to be concerned about. Probably.
I think he said one of the first things that I'm going to do is I'm going to go out there and I'm going to throw a leg kick. So if I'm Brad Tavares, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for him to wrap that. I mean, it.
Could you imagine if he checks it and Chris's leg snaps again? 2 fights in a row?
There's got to be some steel in there. There's got to be some titanium in there.
Has to be.
I don't think it wraps like it did, originally. And also, he caught the bone, or he caught the knee at just the wrong spot for that.
Yeah, it was a tough one. That was a tough watch. And okay, so like, this is no joke. I was watching with a friend in my apartment, and I can't remember exactly what was going on in the night for us to make a joke, but one of us was like, someone's going to break their leg tonight. Like, we threw that out, and it happened in the very next fight.
Yo, Chris Weidman, break a leg.
Like, bro, no. It was terrible. We were so sad and shocked that it was a rough one.
For you guys? Oh, hang on. It was a rough one for you
rough
guys?
For us. I was so traumatized. I was in...
Text Chris. Be like, hey, man, I had a really rough time watching your fight.
Chris, bro, you need to prepare me better for this. Like, that was a tough watch.
Don't do this to me ever again. How about that?
Chris, get it together.
So who do you got?
He's from South Carolina, right?
Chris Weidman?
Yeah.
He'll train with Wonder Boy in Simpsonville, South Carolina. I don't know his origins. Can you Google that real quick?
Yeah, we'll Google. I'm taking...
I think he's from up north, no?
I thought...
When
someone called him like the Carolina Hurricane at one point.
When this mofo knocked out Anderson Silva and became the UFC 185-pound champion, there was nobody... Everybody in the locker room thought it was going to happen via Chael Sonnen. That's the only reason I have that story. But, like, you have the hope of him coming back as champion. I don't personally see it, but it all starts with Brad Tavares, who took Izzy to a decision in Izzy's debut in the UFC Brad
Brad's
Tavares is
game.
no joke. He's
Brad's game.
so game. So game.
Chris fights out of Simpsonville, South Carolina, but he was born in New York, so you were right.
Yeah, he's a Yankee, all right?
He's a Yankee.
He's one of us. He's one of us. Trains with Wonder Boy.
Yeah, he fights out of Upstate Karate.
Shout out to Upstate Karate, my old gym.
We're going to get our first guest is probably going to be Wonder Boy.
Wonder
Just
Boy.
get ready.
Yeah, see? We're on it.
We're looking forward to it. My pick, so we don't take too much more time on this, is I'm going to go Chris Weidman. I'm not super confident in that pick, but I'm rolling with Chris Weidman.
Okay. I'm going with Weidman.
Gotta roll with him.
His wrestling is elite. He's an All-American. Has the tattoo on his shoulder of the classic All-American tattoo that you see on all the wrestlers.
He's the guy that beat Anderson Silva.
The guy that nobody thought could do it, but he
did it. You can never doubt Chris Weidman because of that. One quick extra side note before we get to the main card, for those who have watched The Ultimate Fighter, the two finale fights are on the prelims just before Chris Weidman. It's Austin Hubbard versus Chris Hollabaugh and Brad Katona versus whoever wins tonight's episode.
Okay. So watch tonight's episode. We're recording this on a Tuesday. Sneak peek. How do you feel The Ultimate Fighter did as like in comparison to all the rest of the seasons? Because you're not going to top season 5, season 10.
No, there was too many good seasons. This was like realistically, it was very okay of a season. The only thing that kept this thing afloat was
C-Mac,
Connor, and Mike going back and forth. And
wait,
I mean,
you want to fight right now?
Otherwise, it was just a pretty late. None of these guys. I mean, they were just all kind of plain. Felt like bunch of plain Janes.
You had vets versus rookies, and Mike.
I liked
Mike had all the
Roosevelt
vets.
Roberts.
Oh, Roosevelt Roberts. Yeah, for sure.
He was pretty cool, but he lost his semifinal. So what are you gonna do?
On to the next fight.
Yeah, let's get to the main card.
Let's go. Marlon Chito Vera versus Pedro Munoz. Now, if you're a fan, you know that Chito Vera gave Sugar Sean his only loss, which, if you ask Sean O'Malley,
yeah, Sean doesn't agree, but
he does not agree.
But in the official records,
the nerve in his leg begs to differ. Okay.
Yeah,
and
that happened twice to Sugar. So
when he's going up against a guy in Pedro Munoz who lost to a Dominic Cruz, I believe he lost to Dominic Cruz.
You're right.
The evasive footwork, the ins and outs, the feints, the striking mentality, the mixing it up on the feet. Can Pedro Munoz handle a guy like Marlon Chito Vera, the Ecuadorian superstar?
Man, this is a good fight. When we said this is a sleeper card, like it comes out with a straight banger because this is going to be a fun fight. Marlon is coming off of a loss to Corey Sandhagen, and Pedro in his last fight did win, but let's take a look at the records to see who he beat because I don't remember.
Sure.
Casual. But it's my casual take at the same time. I think Cheeto gets this one done.
I'm with you.
I mean, it's going to be a knockout.
Knockout.
We're going knockout.
Well, hang on. Can I interrupt your research to how many times has Pedro been knocked out, rather?
Oh, that's a good question.
He's got some losses, but how many times has he been knocked out?
He's been TKO'd once. No. Was it? No, he's never been knocked out in his career. And I'm calling it. Cheeto's going to knock him out. That's the casual take.
I got Cheeto by decision.
That's probably a safe answer, but either way.
But I got fight of the night. I'm putting fight.
Crap.
I'm putting fight of the night label on this.
I could see that. I'd agree with that. Very possible.
Anything else that you wanted to add to either of these fighters? Pedro is a dog. Cheeto is a dog. This is a dog fight. I hope they got their ears clipped. I hope they got their
God almighty.
On to the next. You have the most delusional fighter on the whole card. Ian Machado Gary. I'll put the quotes. I don't care. That's not his middle name.
Machado. Yeah, it's like everywhere. Everywhere lists this as his middle name for some reason. But it's not. It's his nickname.
Show me his birth certificate.
I want to see it. I need to see it.
Other than that, it needs to be in quotes. Ian Machado Gary versus Neil Magny. Now, this wasn't the fight. This was not the fight. When we went to UFC Charlotte, and Ian was there. When he won, when he beat Daniel Rodriguez, he calls out Neil Magny. Surprise. Neil Magny was already booked. Dumbass. So they booked Ian Gary versus Jeff Neal. And in his Mystic Mac kind of prediction way, he goes, he's going to pull out. He wore one T-shirt with Jeff Neal's mugshot on it. Tasteful? That's up to you guys. I don't care. Tasteful?
Couch casual.
I'm a couch casual. I don't really care. Get inside your opponent's head as much as you want to. Jeff Neal pulls out, and he's like, oh, I predicted it. I predicted he was going to pull out. So who steps up on short notice? Neil MF Magny. And so he got the fight that he called for. He got the fight that he actually wanted.
The Haitian sensation himself.
What do you think happens? Now, when I brought up, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you after I just asked you a question. When I bring Ian Gary up, this is the same guy that goes, yeah, nobody bought this card for any other reason but me. I'm the reason that people are paying attention to this card. If you asked 500 people on the street if they knew who Ian Gary was, they'd be like, huh?
Dude's lost his mind on this one.
He's off his rocker. You think Sugar Sean O'Malley's not a you think he's not a draw?
Sugar Sean is the draw. I mean, Aljo is like maybe the biggest villain in the UFC right now.
I'd say
versus Sugar.
Yeah.
That's a big fight. Weili Zhang. Everyone's tuning in for a nice Weili Zhang fight.
She's got the resume. She's got the resume.
As a casual, I was looking at the card earlier, a couple days ago. I was hyped for it already, but then I didn't even know Ian Gary was on it. I was planning on buying it. And then I saw it, I was like, oh shit, Ian Gary, let's go. That's pretty good.
Let's go. We just saw him in Charlotte. If you want to go back, there's a vlog that we have, UFC Charlotte. Go watch that.
Oh, yeah. I think it's our most viewed.
I believe it. I believe so.
Maybe it's because it's only 5 minutes long. But...
No. That's because Ian Gary's on the card.
That's right. You're right. He's our biggest seller, even for us. What are you gonna do?
Where's our Machado t-shirts? We need Ian. We need Machado
t-shirt. Look us up, Ian. Again, Ian Machado Gary. Round 2 TKO.
Neil Magny decision.
Oh, bragging rights are up.
Bragging rights are up. You're talking about
go.
A top 10 gatekeeper.
He is a top 10 gatekeeper of all time.
Of the welterweight division. Don't play him. Don't do him like that. Don't play him.
We're not playing. We're talking about
the future.
Machado. Gary. The reason you're buying this card, Robert, is going to walk out victorious. And do his little.
No.
He's going to do it.
He gets pressured up against the fence. He gets taken down. He gets some elbows fed to him. He gets a challenge like never before. He gets exactly what he asked for. I like Ian. He just teamed with Jake Paul and the better team. No. Neil Magny shows the world exactly who Neil Magny is. And he goes out there and he what? I got Neil Magny by decision. Maybe not submission, maybe not TKO, anything like that. I believe that Ian has really good striking. He has stupendous striking. But
stupendous.
Neil has saw it all. What is he going to give Neil that he's never seen before?
The little Machado Magic, baby.
The double M? The Machado Magic?
Double M. The Machado Magic.
UFC 292 Machado Magic?
That's what it is, baby.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. What else you got? What? Because I got Neil Magny and you got Ian Gary. So next week, when my bragging right, when my bragging rights come in, I'm gonna cash them in. All right.
Hey, I think this is an unofficial record, but I think we're 1-1 when it comes to the bragging rights that I can personally remember.
You got them last time.
You had them the time before because you went with Dan Hooker. So if we start the official record there, we're 1-1.
I like that. I like that a lot.
1-1. You did skip a fight though, by the way. At least on this particular card that I'm looking at, it's not a fight that's even worth much talking.
Well, let's talk a little bit about it.
We'll talk a little bit about it. Cody Garbrandt was supposed to fight, and he's pulled out. I don't think I've seen why. I just know he pulled out.
Cody Garbrandt pulled out. Oh,
Cody
no.
Garbrandt. So we're left with Damon Blackshear versus Mario Bautista. Yay.
I like that. Well, I like that one. Mario Bautista, or he's a game fighter, dude.
Fair.
This whole card, if you're not tuning into the early prelims and then the prelims, you never know.
There's fights sprinkled in everywhere.
You never know who could be your next favorite fighter. And that's from a casual.
That's facts. I could watch this Bautista fight and be really shocked.
Watch these fighters grow. Watch these fighters turn into exactly what you think they're going to be. The KOs, the fight of the nights. Like, Dana gives out 50 grand bonuses like they're nothing. So pay attention. And you could find your next favorite fighter, and you could be on the casual train way before everybody else is.
You can sit on this couch with me.
Or us. I'll come. I'll
be
come
casual
along.
Couch.
I'll tell you this.
My screen's blurred, but you can see it. You can tell it's a couch.
For the Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler card, Kyle.
If it happens.
In December, I'm speaking it into the universe. We're going to fly one lucky fan, you and a friend.
One.
We're going to fly you out to
first class?
Coach. To Kyle's apartment. And we're going to sit on the casual couch and we're going to stream the Conor McGregor card live.
For the world to see. This is going to be a major event. Only one fan is really going to be able to win this.
To bask in on this.
We'll figure out the contest as we get closer.
So, That being said, on to the main event. You have.
We didn't pick.
Oh.
You were like, this is a great fight. And then we literally just quit talking about it.
Will you go first?
I don't want to.
I got Batista.
I'm going Batista just because as a casual, I don't fucking know who's going to win this fight.
I mean, that's fair. That's definitely fair.
Let's go on to the co-main event, baby.
The co-main event, you have Zhang Weili, the Magnum.
Zhang Weili
versus Lemos. I think it's Amanda, right?
Amanda Lemos. There's not much to say here, in my opinion.
I mean, this card looks like the image looks really badass.
It does. She did get a good poster for her co-main event.
What kind of damage have you ever seen from Zhang Weili?
You know, Zhang's kind of a conservative fighter. She tends to just kind of little paddle
bing, bing, bing.
here and there.
Bing, bing, bing.
Little bing, bing, bing. No. Zhang Weili does damage when she throws them bombs. I believe we're about to show a picture, or maybe we've already shown it. I don't even know.
No.
Whenever it's about to pop up right now. This is what Zhang Weili does to people.
Oh.
She turns you into an alien.
She looks like an alien.
This isn't edited. For those that did not see this fight, this picture, not edited. This is her after the fight.
She hit her with some punches in the forehead, a couple punches in the eye. Her head looks inflated.
Zhang Weili has never particularly looked bad in a fight, except for maybe one when she got knocked out by Rose. But otherwise, Zhang Weili. I'm going Zhang Weili by axe murder. It doesn't matter what round. It's knockout. It's TKO. It's finished. She's not making it to the end of this fight.
Lemos?
Magnum. Yeah, Lemos is. Well, neither of them going to make it to the end of the fight because Zhang is going to end it early.
Now, that's the official KD and or Kyle decision or the KP Kyle prediction. DraftKings.com/CCMMA. We both
27% off.
27, you said?
27% off your first bet.
Okay, so we both have the same pick here. We both have Zhang Magnum Weili.
Magnum
by finish.
By finish of any kind, whatever she chooses.
I mean, she could go out there and coast, but why would you coast against somebody that you know had nothing for you?
Zhang Weili. Zhang Weili. Zhang Weili.
I'm with you. I'm with you 100%, brother.
100%.
I really don't want to discredit Amanda Lemos because she's worked her way up. She's worked her way up to a title shot, and you know what happened with Alexa Grasso and Shevchenko.
Alexa Grasso had one chance at a win, and she snatched it.
She didn't miss her chance to blow. I'll tell you that.
She took her chance.
But I don't see it, and that's me being a casual. I don't see it. Okay, I don't see it.
We'll see.
That being said, again, we're on to the main event.
The main event. There's some bad blood in this fight. I'm ready for the press conferences and the show off.
Is there?
There's a little bit. If you watch the intro, you're going to see a picture that was at Aljamain Sterling's previous fight of a little standoff between him and Sugar Sean O'Malley.
He had just what did Aljamain Sterling what did he
just
do?
Beat Henry Cejudo, one of the bantamweight, featherweight, low weight GOAT. Like dude's
Triple C.
He's Triple C, baby.
He's He's an Olympic gold medalist in wrestling. He was the 125-pound flyweight champ, and he was the 135-pound bantamweight champ, beating the GOAT, Demetrius Johnson, at 125. Shout out to Demetrius Johnson.
Jay, Mighty Mouse.
Beating TJ Dillashaw at 135. What more could you say about Henry Cejudo?
Not much.
On top of that, Aljo out-wrestled him, outstruck him.
I mean,
he was in his own category that night.
He looked. It was a very close fight. But Aljo, Aljo's big for 135. The dude is massive.
Literally, I think he's gonna be like 157, 160.
He's gonna be huge.
Yeah. And when is it? Honestly, with his wrestling pedigree, because he wrestled in college, he might not have exceeded expectations or went where he wanted to go with wrestling. But as soon as you start mixing up strikes and the other things that it takes to succeed in MMA, do you remember the Corey Sandhagen fight? That was a pure striker versus Aljo, a pure grappler. He choked Corey out in 45 seconds.
And, Aljo is probably, like I said, the biggest villain in the UFC. Everyone hates him. All the fans hate him. He was fairly popular prior to his fight with Jan. He was a fairly popular guy.
Prior to him opening his fucking mouth.
Yeah, this is true. The fight didn't do much. It was just the way he talked after.
Ugh.
This is another Ray Longo prospect too, by the way.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ray Longo.
Longo Sarah.
Then we got Sugar Sean in the other corner. Highlight knockout after highlight, knockout after highlight, beat down. He's exciting. Everyone loves Sugar Sean. He's a little crazy. He's got the wacky hair, a little brash. Trying to make a name for himself, get some money, and he's locked up a nice little paycheck, I'm sure. Next level striking. Very good on his feet.
Can I ask you a question?
You can.
Do you think Aljamain Sterling is the bantamweight GOAT?
Man, I hate the GOAT conversations.
A bantamweight GOAT. Because you have the TJ Dillashaws, the Dominic Cruzes. You have those guys. This guy's defended the belt at least 3 times. And look at who he's defended it against, or look at the resume between them all. I believe. Shout out to Homa Fight. There was a post where it showed Aljamain, Dominic Cruz, and then I believe somebody else that ran the bantamweight division for a long time.
Yeah.
And I just think Aljo, he's in his prime. He's a weight bully.
He's a weight bully.
I'll say that. He's a weight bully.
100%.
You shouldn't cut that much weight. Go to 145, fight Alex, fight fight people your actual weight. Stop picking on these little guys, because you're cutting more than 15 pounds.
You're cutting a lot.
And he's so jacked. He's so jacked.
He's just shredded on weigh-in day. I've never seen so many veins on a person. All of that being said, who do you got?
I got Sugar Sean O'Malley, second round TKO.
Ooh. Are you picking with your heart or your head?
Now, hang on. I'm picking with my head, as in the more weight cut, or the bigger weight cut you have, the more fluid that you drain, the more your chin depreciates, and the less fluid that your brain has to bounce around in that skull. And if you think that Sean O'Malley is not a sniper and is not going to come for your chin, he found the chin on Peter Yan, and he had Peter Yan shooting for his life. Now, if you guys don't know who Peter Yan is,
bad dude.
Not only is it Sean O'Malley's last fight, this guy is a kickboxer, a boxer. You're talking about one of the best strikers in the UFC. Not only the bantamweight division in the UFC. And Sean had him shooting for his life. That being said,
Aljo's going to be next level when he comes to the
wrestling,
the shot, the wrestling, the grappling.
But
I'm terrified.
You think Sugar doesn't know that? You think?
Oh, Sugar can know it, but can he stop it? That's the question. Can he stop Aljamain's grappling?
So, what do you think about Sugar's jiu-jitsu game?
I think it's underrated.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it touches Aljo's.
Well, hang on. Aljo is proactive wrestling jiu-jitsu, where Sugar Sean is reactive jiu-jitsu. Does that make sense? Like you don't want to be reactive. You want to be proactive. Like you want to get after it. You don't want to be the guy.
You want to be the one moving positions, going for the leg, the arm, the choke.
Yes,
and
sir.
That's what Aljo does best. My head and my heart are fighting right now. They're arguing inside, and I want Sugar Sean to win.
You want it.
So that's
your heart.
That's definitely my heart. My brain is saying that this is going to be one of the biggest wrestle fucks of all time.
So hang on. When's the last card that you saw a wrestler versus striker card? But aside from the Sterling Copenhagen or
Copenhagen, baby.
Corey Sandhagen. When is the last time you saw a major pay-per-view of wrestler versus striker?
That's a good question. You have one on? Is this a real question, or are you prepared with the answer here?
Habib Connor.
Oh my! There's definitely been one since that fight.
Name one. Casual.
I can't.
Casual. Name one. Casual.
I'm going. Aljamain Sterling. Second round rear naked choke. I don't want to say it, and I hope I'm wrong. I think Sean can win. Like, this isn't like I'm locking this in with 100% confidence. But the bragging rights are up.
Don't do that.
I mean, if you honestly, a better win for the bragging rights is when you pick with your heart and you win versus when you pick with your head against your heart and you win.
I'm coming for you next week.
I know you are. And Aljo's coming for that neck.
And all of our fans, all of our casual fans.
They're going to hate my take. They're not going to like this.
They're coming for you next week when Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Leave it in the comments.
He's going to faint.
Bop, bop.
Boom.
Bop, bop.
In that fluidless skull of Aljamain Sterling.
If Sean knocks Aljo out, I'm going to scream in victory, even though my prediction lost.
Okay, well, at least there's some money on the line. Unless you're trying to get frisky.
Unless you go to DraftKings.com/CCMMA.
Pick it up.
Jinx. Fucking pinch poke.
You owe me a ice cream date.
You owe me Connor's Coke. Anyways.
I think that's the full card.
We broke down the main card. I have a question for you.
I have an answer.
Did the Jake Paul-Nate Diaz fight live up to your expectations?
It was something. It was entertaining. But, man, I mean, obviously Nate lost. But he really did make
What do you
Jake
mean,
look
obviously?
silly.
What do you mean, obviously?
Because that was the result. Because that's what happened. The result is Jake won. But Nate made him look silly in those later rounds. He was goofing on him. He was gaffing on him. Little this, little that. You know what I'm saying?
I wish we could pull up video footage. We'll get there. We'll get there.
One day.
But you're right. Like, Nate was toying with this guy.
Nate didn't seem to care about the actual victory.
Do you know the purse that was displayed?
No.
Nate made $30 million plus from that fight.
He did pull the guillotine on him, which was hilarious.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Boom. It was beautiful. Nate, Jake landed some good shots early in the fight and even dropped Nate once, like a legit drop.
He went hard on him round one, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, what's gonna happen?" Like, Nate's reputation is on the line. He can't get stopped in round one.
Right now?
You wanna fight right now?
You wanna fight right now?
Episode UFC 292. You wanna fight right now?
You wanna fight right now?
Okay, all right. So, what did you think overall?
It wasn't a good boxing fight.
You have the couch casuals, and then you have the celebrity boxing, and we even kind of went over like the Francis Ngannou, Tyson Fury kind of thing. That's a separate category, and we can only have so much of an opinion on it. But we are MMA guys, right?
All the way.
All the way.
All the way. That's why it's called CCMMA, not CCBOX,
well,
ING.
No. Yeah. CC, leave it up to the fans. No way. So I'm pulling up a picture of Nate guillotining Jake Paul.
That was pretty funny.
It's so like if this was a real fight, like Nate said, if this is a real fight, what are you gonna do? I'm about to choke you out, brother.
You're getting choked.
That's it.
You're getting choked.
I think.
And it's funny because I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
Jake after the fight said, "Yeah, I pulled double leg right then. It took him down." That choke's going in deeper, baby. You're getting completely choked out. Like, he just proved that he doesn't know what to do in that situation.
I'm a double leg. Yeah, all right.
Bruh.
All right.
Double leg. Go down. See what happens.
Shout out to Jake Paul. I actually watched the Netflix documentary. The Jake Paul Netflix documentary.
You would.
What?
Robbie Paul, baby. Robbie
Dubronx.
Dubronx Paul.
Robbie Paul. So for the meme of the week, shout out to the meme of the week.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm ready.
I'm gonna send it to you right now, and then I'll post it on here. So you and I are gonna watch the fights, and then we have all night to explore the realm of possibility. But I really don't think that anything is gonna come of this. We now go to the judges for the decision. The judges are, and it's 3 guys in a pink wig for Sean O'Malley. Like, how did he win the Peter Yan fight? How? I'm asking.
Good question.
I'm asking you. How?
I don't have the answers. Do I have the meme yet?
I'm about to send it to you.
Okay. Just making sure.
So, what did you think when you were watching the Peter Yan Sean O'Malley fight?
I remember thinking it was very close fight. I definitely leaned Peter Yan, but I don't think it was quite the robbery that everybody said it was. Because damage does play a major factor into the judges. Peter looked much more damaged, wouldn't you say? And there was a I think I don't remember who said this, but I think it's really something worth pointing out. When you're in a live crowd and you have one fighter that every time they land a blow, the crowd goes ah, ah, ah.
Sure.
That affects the judges. They're sitting there live. They're listening with the crowd. They hear the crowd freak out. Even if they don't think it affects them, subconsciously that's in the back of their mind. I would say it's a fair argument. But you could also just say it's rigged and
No.
Sean was, they just paid the refs off so Sugar would win.
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that here.
No, I don't like that. I don't think it's the term robbery is the most overused phrase in MMA today.
You were talking about one of the biggest superstars of the UFC.
Especially new and upcoming.
Colored hair. I believe he's our age, right? Well, my age.
He's younger than me. He's your age, yeah.
My age.
Yeah,
the youngin. The youngin. I think it's his time to shine. I really do. I think he capitalizes. He's had the longest camp. He hasn't fought since what? Kyle, will you pull that up? September, October of last year?
Yeah, let's see. When was his last fight?
He's had the longest camp of his life. I
mean, he's been preparing for this.
He was either preparing for Aljo or Cejudo for months on months.
Both wrestlers, so he knew exactly what he was getting into no matter what.
Of course.
Let's see. Previous fight. Hurry up. That would be
Peter Yan.
In October of last year.
To November, to
We're
December,
getting close to
January,
a full year.
To February, March, April, May, June, July, August. You're talking about 10 months of camp. Who else would go through? People go through 8 weeks of camp. So to go through 10 months of camp, I mean, dude, what are you doing to your body? And he has a nutritionist. He has a strength and conditioning coach, a jiu-jitsu coach, boxing coach. Shout out to Tim Welch. You have all these coaches. Nobody's going to push you to the limit more so than you need to have. And that's all I'm saying.
The preparation's there.
I think he's ready for Aljo.
And I hope I'm wrong. But if you had to put $1,000 on the fight, does it? No odds. You got to pick a fighter to win. $1,000. Who would you pick?
Aljo by decision.
Yeah, I know. That's the way it is. But anyway,
talking about money though. You're talking
meme of the week, baby.
Meme of the week. Okay. Now we go to the judges for the decision. The judges, the guys that are in pink wigs, they're obviously for Sean O'Malley. I mean, I thought that was funny. I thought it was creative.
Do I have it yet?
Say it again.
Have you sent me this meme?
I can.
I haven't seen it.
Boom! I'm putting it up.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I definitely sent it. I sent it. Discord, baby.
Yeah. That's pretty accurate.
When he beat Peter Yan, did you think that he beat Peter Yan?
No, I wasn't convinced. Yeah.
I'm with you. But but don't. Don't.
Yeah. We'll see. And it's gonna be Aljo's last fight at bantamweight, he says.
99.5% or like 99%. Like, he's a big guy.
It's a big dude.
Can I get
lightweight?
Can I get your early prediction? Because I know for a fact, I'm thinking with my brain and my heart. Alexander Volkanovski wipes the floor with Ila Topuria, right?
Yeah.
Wipes the fucking floor. I don't mean to curse. Wipes the fucking floor.
That's our last F of the show. We can't say anymore. We get demonetized.
Ila effing Topuria.
Thank you.
Of course. Wipes the floor with Ila Topuria.
Yeah. Hands down.
I think Aljo comes up short against Alexander Volkanovski.
My head and my heart are in sync on this one. Alex the Great Volkanovski, baby.
I'm with you. So, does he lose back-to-back, B2B? Does he lose to Sean and then lose to Alex? Or does he win to Sean and then lose to Alex? Because
you heard my pick earlier.
He's not beating Alex. Alex
beat Islam Makhachev.
He did, but he didn't.
He did, but he did.
We are your couch casuals. I'm your host.
He's your post.
I'm your post prediction. I'm all the things that you think that you are, but you're not. Please go with your head instead of your heart.
Especially if there's money on the line. If it's Verdict, you can go with your heart.
Oh, shout out to Verdict MMA. Download
Verdict /CCMMA gives you 17.1% off your first head-to-head.
I'll give us the title of the weirdest odds in the game. All right,
we get the weirdest percentages. We're stats guys, you know what I'm saying? We lock in those numbers. You can see it was daytime when we started this podcast. Now I'm completely blacked out over here.
Do you want to make money or not? That's what I'm asking.
I do. I just wanted everyone to see the effort we put in.
We will see you next week for the post show. This is the pre-show.
Bragging rights are up.
Bragging rights are up. And put in the comments. I'm going to comment right now as soon as this video uploads. And we'll see who gets more likes. I love you all. I love all of you casuals. I love my beautiful host, Kyle Casual Diorio.
Love you all. I love my co-host, Robbie Durox. Oh.
And we will see you later.
Bye.
With your casual picks. Bye.